Welcome, class of 2021. This is your graduation. This is your day. I want to say to all the graduates, this is not the end of your story, but this is the beginning. Your sheer grit and determination set you apart from so many others. You all will solve problems in the schools, in our community, and in the world. Don't let people tell you you can't because you can. Don't let them tell you you won't because you will. And don't let people tell you you're nothing because you are everything. Celebrate your day, your achievement, but remember, don't stop here. There's a world outside ready to be changed. So go change it. Go make this city, this country, and this world the greatness that it deserves to be. Thank you, class of 2021. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy it. You have earned this achievement. Go celebrate.
Hey, it's Maya, and I cannot be more proud of all of my 2021 Baltimore City School graduates. Can you believe the day is actually here? Your day. This is your day. This is all about you right now. Each and every one of you are all warriors with everything that's been going on in the world. You made it through, and that takes courage, resilience, hard work, faith, strength, application, and so much more. And you will take all of those key attributes with you throughout life because, yes, life can certainly be tough and challenging sometimes, but I know you got this. So don't ever let anyone discourage you from or even try to talk you out of your goals because you have everything that it takes to make it in this life and in this world right there inside of you. And know that there are no shortcuts, but when you show up like you just did for yourselves, they will all have to watch you glow up. You are the future leaders, and I hope that you have the best day and best future ever. I send prayers of safety, of protection over you, over your family, and success in every area and endeavor in life. You have so many more victories ahead of you, but right now we're going to celebrate all of your hard work and your victory today. Congratulations to you all. I'm so very proud of you. Much love and blessings from Maya.
Hello, 2021 winter graduates. I am your City Council President, City Council Nick J. Mosby, and today I have the honor and pleasure of introducing an amazing man. He puts the extra in extraordinary. That's the world-renowned civil attorney, criminal defense attorney, as well as civil rights leader Billy Murphy. He's a pride and joy of Baltimore, born and raised in Cherry Hill. He's gone on to be one of the first African-American district court judges right here in the city of Baltimore. But his defense of our communities and our people and his love and passion for young folks like you matches no other. He puts the extra in extraordinary, not just as an attorney, but also as an author, as a musician, but just as a mentor and as a friend. So without further ado, I introduce you to the amazing Billy Murphy.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this great event. First, I want to thank God for making me the child of William and Madeline Murphy, who are responsible for 95% of the good in me. I take full responsibility for the rest. Next, thank God for all the dedicated teachers who work for low wages and long hours to make this educational experience you've just had as good as it possibly can be. And I want to thank all of the parents who work so hard to make their children prepared to get this education and to shepherd them through the good and the bad times. All of you have my gratitude and my love. Now, for most of the past 400 years, African slaves in America and their descendants, us, have been forced to earn a living by using our muscles and our hands to do back-breaking and dangerous work. For the first 250 or so years of being here, Black people were forbidden to learn to read. We were deliberately and systematically robbed of our history, stripped of our culture, and forbidden to speak our native languages. That's why we don't know who we used to be and in what African kingdoms we lived before millions of our ancestors were systematically and repeatedly stolen at gunpoint from those same African kingdoms. To make matters worse, none of us were taught any of this in public school. because even today, all of this is forbidden to be taught in public schools across the country. Instead, we have Black History Month. The good news is that because Black people and progressive whites have fought for so long and so hard, the terrible things that have happened to us, nobody today can stop us from making a much, much, much better living by developing and using our brains instead of using just our muscles and our hands. Education feeds our brains and makes them stronger and more powerful by teaching us how to learn, how to think logically, and how to think critically, and by teaching us valuable new skills and abilities. Education teaches us to be doctors, lawyers, scientists, engineers, computer and technology experts, researchers, professors, teachers, architects, healthcare professionals, successful businessmen, and the inventors of the Moderna vaccine. A Black woman did that. Education teaches us the best foods to eat so we don't get heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, and obesity. Education teaches us to read and understand the labels on our food so that we can protect ourselves from harmful chemicals and food additives that have nothing to do with making our food better for our health. Education teaches us anything that we want to know, anything we want to learn, anything we need to learn, anything we are curious enough to learn. Education teaches us how to make as much money as we need, and yes, as much money as we want. The second bit of good news that I have today is that you have graduated from high school. This is a wonderful achievement for which all of you should be congratulated. But this is just the beginning of your education, and it is nowhere near good enough to make your newest and biggest dreams come true. You never have enough education. You can never have too much education. You can never dream too big. But oppressed people like us have been taught and conditioned to quit school, to think small, to dream small, and to act small because we have been prevented from being and acting free for so long. Again, we are an oppressed people. We really don't understand what it means to be completely free. A high school education, especially if you're Black, gets you through the lowest paying jobs in America, unless you've learned a highly skilled trade or something equivalent. Because companies pay you for what you have learned. They pay you for how logical and smart you can think and act. They pay you for how creative you can be. And they pay you for how much responsibility you can handle. The second good news today is that because of the hard work by our Black political and community leaders and the efforts of progressive whites, 2 years of community college is now free. And for students who work hard, almost every one of you can get financial aid and scholarships to finish college. This is revolutionary. Now let's talk about the many reasons people don't do well in school and how easy it is to overcome them. First of all, we have language. There's no excuse for us not learning our native language extremely well so that we can speak and write with perfect grammar and dictation and talk the language of money and power. Europeans who have no ability to speak English get thrown into our schools and learn English, and sometimes you don't even know that it is not their first language. Number two, not doing all the work. That's one of the reasons we don't learn. Genius is 95% perspiration and 5% inspiration. Another reason we don't learn is because some of us, when we go to school, are in poor health because of our poor nutrition and our lack of sleep. And the worst reason we don't learn, the most important reason we don't learn, is that we have learned bad attitudes. Not all of us. And I'm not talking about all students when I say these things. And so, in the words of Dr. King, it is not your aptitude that determines your altitude, it is your attitude. Attitude rules. Erase the bad programs in your head that make you believe that you are not as smart as the Europeans. Erase the ideas that people have taught you that you're not good enough to go to college. You're not good enough to go to graduate school. You're not good enough to be the president of the United States. Erase all of that. Finally, the last two reasons that people don't learn in school is because they're afraid that asking questions and seeking help makes them look dumb. But the reverse is true. Kids who ask questions look smarter than the kids who don't. Kids that seek help to figure things out that they didn't learn quickly in class look smarter than the ones who don't. Now, we are all born with genius brains. The normal brain, not the exceptional brain, is a genius device. It is so complicated and so able to do things beyond our imagination that we're all born geniuses. But life has this nasty habit of wiping away that genius by teaching us that we're subhuman, that we're not as smart as Europeans, that we're really basically animals who are not deserving of any rights. That's the root of what we call racism. It's also the root of bigotry. What's the difference? Bigotry is what an individual says and does that's hateful. Racism is what a society does that is hateful. It is what an organized group does that is hateful. It is what happens when you mix bigotry with the power to turn it against an entire people. That's racism. Now, in this life, if we hang out with the wrong people who don't believe that they're smart, smarter than, as smart as other people, we kind of learn that from them. If we hang out around people who avoid hard work, people who have low aim, people who are irresponsible, or people who use drugs, we can be influenced by them to do the same. Likewise, if we hang out with violent people or people who lie, cheat, and steal, they can influence us too. If we hang out with weak people, we will become weak. If we hang out with scared people, we will not be brave. Finally, life rewards people with integrity. Life rewards honest people. So be honest in all your dealings. Keep your word. Be dependable. Be early, not late. Remember that anything the mind can conceive and believe, it will achieve. Tell yourself every day that if it is to be, it is up to me. Stop making excuses. Instead, look in the mirror and tell yourself that every day in every way, you're getting better. We all want you to be the leaders of tomorrow. We desperately want you to do better than we have done because we haven't done as well as we could have or should have. And there's so many people who don't know you who love you. I'm one of them. I'm happy to be one of them. I love you with all my heart. And I want you to do the very best you can. Remember, excellence is our aim. Excellence is the name of our game. And if we work together, we'll learn that working together works. Again, I love you. And thank you for this wonderful opportunity to share a part of my life with you.
Good afternoon, graduates, class of 2021. Welcome to the winter graduation. We are so proud of you. You are one of the largest group of winter graduates from city schools in our winter graduation. You are a group that has persevered through things that, frankly, no other generation has had to push through. And still, you have come out on the other side, ready to graduate, celebrated by family and friends, yes, at a distance, but with all of the love and pride and congratulatory spirit that we can muster. As the CEO of City Schools, I am thrilled to be able to salute you, to commend you for all of your work. And let's get down to business in getting you officially graduated and in the very esteemed status of a graduate of Baltimore City Public Schools.
Hey graduates, I'm Brandy Proctor from Fox 45. I just wanted to take a moment to congratulate you all. Now graduating, of course, is an accomplishment, but to do it during a pandemic, virtual learning from home, and missing all your friends and all the things that senior year has to offer, well, that's phenomenal. Now I am a proud Baltimore City Public School graduate myself. Hey Western. Now I let it be known every chance I get in this building and outside that I am a product of Baltimore City Public Schools and an HBCU. Now in addition to the schools that I went to, I also roamed the halls of many city schools with my mother who taught there, from Abbotston to Harlem Park to Mount Royal and a few places in between. So I just wanted to say to you guys, whatever the remainder of this year holds, whatever is up next for you, I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. The sky truly is the limit. You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Congratulations and good luck.
In recognition of the records and achievements of the students of this class, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as Executive Director of College and Career Readiness, I certify that these students have met the graduation requirements of both the Baltimore City Public Schools and the Maryland State Department of Education. I take great pleasure in recommending to you the graduating class of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Sonia Santelises, Chief Executive Officer of Baltimore City Public Schools. Acknowledging the certification and the recommendation by the Executive Director of College and Career Readiness and by the authority vested in me as Chief Executive Officer of Baltimore City Public Schools, I take pleasure in presenting to you the graduating class of 2021 for the conferring of diplomas. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor of presenting to you Dr. Linda Chinya, Board Chair of Baltimore City School Commissioners.
In recognition of the certification of these graduates, the recommendation of the Executive Director of College and Career Readiness, and the acknowledgement of the Chief Executive Officer of the Baltimore City Public Schools, and by virtue of the authority vested in me as Board Chair of the Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, I take pleasure in accepting the graduating class of 2021 for the conferring of high school diplomas.
Salem Al-Abdul Salam. Shaika Al-Abdul Salam. Angel Aladdin. Diana Alvarenga Rivas. Amenet Alvarez. Carlos Amé Contreras. Danielle Bailey. Shakaya Baker. Bria Baylor. Tylea Bland. Keyshawn Blick. Keyshawn Brooks. Melissa Brown. Nige Bruce. Kalia Chapman. Aaliyah Cole. Carly Crudup. Kyrie Cummings. Taylor DeGrosse. Destiny Donner. Brittany Douglas. Rayvon Dunton. DeMonte Evans. Karen Flores Castro. Antonio Foreman. Tobias Garver. Stanley Giddens. Shabria Graham. Mackenzie Green. Giselle Gutierrez. Philippe Harrell. Javon Harrell. Briante Hawkins. Satea Hicks. Lavon Hickson. Diamond Holland. Isaiah House. Tavon Hubbard. Alyssa Hubbard. Uriah Jackson. Cammie Jackson. Destiny Jenkins. Nashia Johnson. Sincere Johnson. Brandon Johnson. Tanera Johnson. Brian Jones. Raja Jones. Zoe Jones. Ayana Jones. Antonio Jones. Tanasia Jones. Xavier Jones. Jaheim Jones. Shatara Kane. Dayon Keller. Christian Little. Kyle Livingston. Noah Macias. Tariq Mack Kite. Aaliyah Marrero. Noah Marshall. Keon McCullough. Brian Madrano. Marcel Morel. Amia Mitchell. Layla Morris. Ayana Morris. Amar Naper. Bobby Page. James Pasco. Diamond Powell. Tiaja Price. Jordan Reagan. Vidal Reefer Coleman. Isabel Richard. Devontae Robinson. Gilson Rogers. Cheyenne Rolls. Tyler Rose. Jalen Singletary. Tyshay Smith. Caleb Smith Green. Jada Stevens. Nuri Sykes. Levant Thomas. Kamoru Thomas. Andy Torres. Javier Velasquez Aguilar. Anissa Walton. Ariana Whitaker. Jasmine White. Shania White. Sean Williams. Desire Wilson.
Greetings, it's TT the artist. Congratulations to the class of 2021. You've made it. The road to success has come with many challenges and obstacles, but guess what? You never gave up. So for that, remember, moving forward, that today marks the beginning of your life's journey and your life's work. So remember to move forward with pride and be proud of how far you've come. Congratulations, it's a celebration.